right, welcome to another deep dive. This time, we're tackling something I think we've all faced at some point. Job interviews. And, they can be pretty nerve-wracking.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you're trying to make a good impression, right?
Right.
So, you sent me this really cool script that focuses on interview prep, especially for those who might be interviewing in English as like a second language.
Yeah,
And it's got some interesting points that I thought we could unpack a bit today.
absolutely.
So, what really struck me was how the script starts off. It jumps right into this scene setting of like a professional office environment. And I feel like that emphasis on the visual right from the get-go
Oh, yeah.
really highlights how important first impressions are.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. And I think that's a really powerful way to start because it reminds people that, before you even say a word,
Yeah.
the interview has kind of already begun in a way.
Exactly. It's like you walk in and they're already sizing you up,
Yeah.
It's like my career coach always says, the interview starts the moment you step out of your car.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
It's all about that initial impact.
Yeah.
And then the script goes on to this section called Tips for Success. What did you find interesting there?
Well, they really emphasize body language, which, again, goes back to that first impression.
Mm-hmm.
Things like eye contact,
Oh, yeah.
posture, a genuine smile.
Yeah.
These are all nonverbal cues
Yeah.
that really project confidence and professionalism, and it sets the stage for positive interaction.
Oh, absolutely. And, I've had interviews where I just completely blanked on questions because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us, right? But this script, it's like a roadmap.
Yeah.
It goes from greetings, introductions, and then it tackles those classic interview questions, the ones we all know and love, and maybe dread a little bit.
Right. But what I like is it doesn't just list questions.
Mm-hmm.
It emphasizes tailoring your answers to the company's mission and the specific job description. Oh, that's a good point.
It's about demonstrating that you've done your homework
Yeah.
and you understand what they're looking for.
It's not just about spitting out your resume, right?
No.
It's like you're showing genuine interest. You've thought about how your skills fit their needs.
Exactly.
And speaking of skills, the script really digs into those tricky questions about strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, yeah, the dreaded strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, and it specifically talks about using this thing called the STAR method. Have you heard of this?
Oh, the STAR method. Yeah, it's super helpful. It stands for situation, task, action, result.
Okay, so it's like a storytelling.
Right. Exactly. It's a way to structure your answers.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, I'm good at teamwork, you're actually telling a story that demonstrates that skill.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
So you describe a specific situation, the task you had, the actions you took, and the results you achieved.
That's really smart. It's way more impactful than just listing things off.
Way more impactful.
I've also heard some people talk about a modified STAR method where they swap result with reflection.
Interesting.
It's like adding another layer of depth by talking about what you learned from the experience.
Oh, I like that. That's really good.
Shows you're always growing, right?
Exactly. It demonstrates a willingness to learn and grow, which is always a good thing.
Definitely. And the script's approach to the weakness question, I think they're really clever about it.
How so?
Well, instead of pretending to be perfect,
Yeah.
they frame it as an area of active improvement.
Oh, that's good.
It's like saying, hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's a much better way to approach it.
It's honest. It shows self-awareness, a growth mindset.
Absolutely.
What about you? What's a weakness you're currently working on? And how would you frame it positively in an interview?
Let me think about that one for a second. That's a great question to reflect on, actually.
It's a tough one, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But it's something we should all be thinking about.
Definitely. It's like part of that continuous self-improvement journey, right?
Absolutely.
Always striving to be better.
Always striving to be better.
I like that. All right, well, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and dig into some more of this awesome script.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And you know what it reminds me of, actually? It reminds me of something else the script brings up,
Okay.
which is the importance of asking thoughtful questions at the end of the interview.
Oh, yeah. That's huge.
It's so easy to get caught up in just answering their questions,
Hmm.
to kind of be in that reactive mode.
Yeah.
But asking questions, it flips the script. It shows you're engaged.
Mm-hmm.
You're genuinely curious about the role, the company.
It's like you're taking control of the conversation a little bit.
Exactly. You're not just a passive participant.
And it gives you a chance to dig deeper into things that matter to you.
Right.
company culture, team dynamics,
Yeah.
even specific projects you might be working on.
Exactly. It's thinking beyond just the surface level.
It's like an interview is a two-way street, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you.
That's a great way to put it.
And it reminds me of this one time I interviewed for a job that looked perfect on paper.
Oh,
Yeah, but during the Q&A, I asked about opportunities for professional development,
okay.
and their response was just like, lukewarm.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a total red flag for me.
yeah, I could see that.
I ended up declining their offer.
Mhm.
But the script does give some really good examples of insightful questions,
It does.
the kind that can really make you stand out.
Right, because it shows you're thinking critically.
Yeah, you're not just there to fill a seat.
Exactly. And, speaking of standing out, the script really emphasizes the importance of practice.
Oh, practice, practice, practice.
Practice, practice, practice. It's key.
I used to think practice was just for like athletes and musicians. But then I read this study about how even CEOs rehearse their presentations.
Oh, wow.
It was a game changer.
Yeah, it makes sense, though.
It does. So how do you think our listener can use this script to practice effectively?
Well, I think mock interviews are key.
Okay.
Grab a friend, a mentor, or even just record yourself answering the questions.
Oh, yeah. Recording yourself can be super helpful.
It is. It's like watching game film.
Yeah.
You can see those little things you might not realize you're doing.
Like saying, too much. Or fidgeting.
Exactly. Those nonverbal cues matter.
Oh, they do. They do. And especially for non-native English speakers, practicing aloud is so important.
Oh, absolutely. It helps build fluency, confidence.
It's all about feeling prepared and confident so you can really shine during that interview.
Absolutely. And the script ends on this point about customizing your approach based on the role and the industry.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's like taking that foundation and building on it with details that are relevant to your target audience.
Makes sense.
So, for example, if you're interviewing for a tech role,
Okay.
you might want to be prepared to discuss coding examples, whereas a teaching role might focus more on classroom management techniques.
So it's about understanding those nuances of the industry
Exactly.
and adapting your approach accordingly.
Right.
It all comes back to showcasing the best version of yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to kind of flip the script a bit. Imagine you're the interviewer, right? You're looking to fill a position similar to your own. What would be that one X factor beyond just the skills and experience on a resume that would make a candidate truly stand out to you?
Oh, that's a good one. I think for me, it would be those intangible qualities,
Okay.
like their enthusiasm,
Mm-hmm.
genuine interest in our mission, a willingness to learn and grow. Those are the things that really make a candidate shine. Because you can teach skills, right?
Yeah.
But those inherent qualities, that passion and drive, that's what sets exceptional candidates apart.
It's like looking beyond the qualifications and seeing the person.
Exactly.
So much of success in any role is about attitude, the ability to connect with others.
Absolutely. And, thinking back to the script, I think it does a good job of giving our listener a framework for showcasing those qualities.
Oh, yeah.
From the way they present themselves to the questions they ask,
Yeah.
it's all about conveying that enthusiasm and that genuine desire to contribute.
And I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners, right? It's not just about memorizing answers or trying to fit into some kind of mold.
Right.
It's about being authentic, showcasing your strengths, demonstrating a genuine passion for what you do.
Absolutely. And remember, preparation is key.
Oh, always.
The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel. And that confidence, it'll shine through in your interviews.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, we hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights into the world of interviews. Remember, it's a two-way street. You're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. So go out there, be yourself, and rock those interviews.